Okay, guys, let's talk about Kevin Feige directing a Star Wars film. I know that's old news, but let's just talk about it. That's very exciting. As I'm a big fan of Star Wars, I'm a big fan of the MCU, so it's kind of nice to kind of see them kind of merge together in a way. Not saying Star Wars is going to be in the MCU or MCU is going to be in Star Wars, but kind of bridging them through through creatively in a sense, I guess. I really kind of want to hope that they kind of go in the direction that Kevin Feige's, I guess, comfortable with, and where he seems to thrive most. And he honestly seems to thrive most as like kind of like looking at attacking these franchises. He's the MCU and now hopefully in Star Wars as kind of like chess. You know, kind of an interesting way to kind of make an interesting analogy in how he looks in the MCU is he looks at it as chess pieces. Chess is because I've played chess before, and it's a very long-term game. You really need to think about it long-term. How will this move affect me winning, me doing all this stuff? And, again, when you're, at checkpoint, a lot of people call, as you're getting closer, a lot of people call in chess, in game theory, it's kind of called an end game. Your end game. Isn't that the last big MCU film? Yes, yes, yes. And so I think on that note, it's kind of like, it'll be interesting to see it, because it's not like Star Wars is like, it's not like he's directing like all the Star Wars movies coming forward, or producing it, or whatever. But I think he works best when he can tell a story over time. And that's where another thing is, how much time is Star Wars Kathleen Kennedy gonna let him give? And then that's also another question is, how can he be busy in the MCU and still balance that? Because as someone who's a big fan of both franchises, I want them to both be equally balanced. So I'm not saying Kevin Feige should work more on the MCU or Star Wars. Obviously, I'd go with the MCU in the sense that that's like kind of his home, but Disney's his home. At the end of the day, they're both Disney properties. So that gets me to think is like, what happens when Bob Iger steps down? Is Kevin Feige going to go in? Who really knows? I don't think Bob Iger's going to step down just yet. And that really is an interesting point to bring up, is like, what's going to happen, again, kind of long term. What's, again, Kevin Feige's individual endgame? And also, as Star Wars being a franchise I really love, can Kevin Feige handle telling a story in one film? Because I feel like a lot of the best films in the MCU, in many ways, build off each other. But can he really do that with one or two films? That's what I'm saying. I feel like he should really get at least a trilogy. But at the same time, can he really afford, with the MCU, can he afford to make a trilogy? That's the point, is what I'm trying to make, is, does Kevin Feige have the time to work on the MCU, to work on Star Wars? Does he have to sacrifice one for the other? Does he have to, does that mean less MCU? Does that mean, who's going to be in this new Star Wars film? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about, like, he's probably going to bring some of his MCU friends, cast members into that. So I was thinking it would be cool. I would honestly be cool for, like, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans to be in Star Wars. I hope Brie Larson's really wanted to do it. That would be cool, to kind of see kind of like, not necessarily what if, this certain Avenger was in, Star Wars. Not bad, but like, I want him to be definitely unique in the Star Wars. But it would be cool to kind of, bring over some of your favorite Avengers, cast members, I guess, to Star Wars to some degree. That is very interesting. That very is exciting. I was, again, someone who is a fan, I just bring it on. And so it'll be interesting to see. Now, we don't have any release date, but I'm sure with, Benioff and Weiss done with making the trilogy, since they moved on, it could easily go to Kevin Feige. But at the same time, it's like, the big question is when does Kevin Feige find the time? Because he's already juggling Disney Plus MCU and movie MCU, and then now the X-Men and Fantastic Four. And then now all of a sudden he's in Star Wars. So think about all the projects. Think about, even if it's just one Star Wars film, that's still busy. That's still one extra film that I'm sure he's not going to just take this opportunity and it's like, we'll worry about that. I'll worry about that last minute. Making Star Wars movies takes some time because it's such a creative and great universe that I love that I really want this to be kind of so original in a sense where what's so great about Star Wars is it doesn't have to be a saga. It doesn't have to be a saga film. It doesn't have to be with a Skywalker, with a Jedi. Because this universe is so rich and so great with world building, you can make original stories with original planets, with original characters, and yet establish them in this universe that you already know and love. And yet it feels totally different because there could any planet could exist. There could be a water planet, completely in the water, or land. There's so many inventive things you can do with Star Wars, and with a great creative mind of Kevin Feige. In many ways, you could think that the possibilities are many. People would say endless, which is not necessarily true because, of course, you gotta have some creative grounds. But I think with Kevin Feige, after coming off, the Endgame, which is like the biggest film, the biggest film box office wise, and then Spider-Man Far From Home, and then of course with the release of Disney Plus in like a day, I guess the cards are stacked. I feel like in his favor. But it's like one of those it's a domino effect of success, but it can also be a domino effect of failure. Because it's been a domino effect of success as you're putting the dominoes up. But think about it. One miscalculation with such a big franchises. I put the S there because it was just franchise of the MCU. But now that he's taking on the task of Star Wars as well, for Star Wars, the pieces have pretty much fallen down. It's pretty much the virtual opposite as putting the pieces back up in the domino, as in dominoes. And it's so hard because once you put it back up, it doesn't matter if the Rise of Skywalker is good or not, because again, it kind of rides on Kevin Feige in a sense because it's like he's the follow-up. I feel like, because that there's still going to be more Star Wars films after this. There might not be any more Skywalker films, but there's still going to be more Star Wars films. But with Kathleen Kennedy just seeming to fail to get along with the people she hires, I feel like she'll kind of get along with Kevin Feige because she knows Kevin's essentially her saving grace. It's like, without him, think about it. Does Ryan Johnson really want to direct a Star Wars film? He got huge backlash. Think about it. Knives Out is coming out, which looks pretty fun, pretty cool that I want to see. But it's like beyond that. It's like, I don't know if he really wants to step in. So think about it. I think Kevin Feige would be their only chance. But at the same time, can Kevin Feige really afford to stay with Star Wars and do the MCU? Especially now that he's completely not just running MCU, but running Marvel. Can he really afford? Can that? But if he's gonna run Star Wars and Marvel, then I'm just thinking that's like the footprints. That's like the big footprints that are leading to you to understand. Kevin Feige is gonna run Disney. I feel it. Now, I could be totally wrong, and to be honest, I'd love for him to stay with Marvel, but at the same time, I don't want to choose Marvel over Star Wars, because they're both amazing franchises, and it's like in that regard, it's not like I'm choosing which one Kevin Feige wants to go with. Definitely Marvel, because, he's had experience in Marvel. He's had his, let's just say, Marvel is his home. But at the same time, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, also Disney, at the end of the day, the big conflict of Star Wars and Marvel comes down to it's all Disney. It's all Disney. So whatever happens, the Mouse House wins. That's the point. Is Kevin Feige is the biggest, he's the king. In this case, the queen. The queen. Because remember, it started off with a chess analogy and it's going to end with a chess analogy. You want to get the queen. Or no, you want to get the king, but the queen. Yeah, he's the king. He's the guy you want to get, but he's sending out the queen. He's Bob Iger. Because at the end of the day, Bob Iger could easily fire Kevin Feige. Yeah, he could easily fire anyone as long as there's no contracts assigned. So that is a very interesting idea. What's Kevin Feige going to do? Well, write in the comment section what you do think Kevin Feige is going to do. Stay tuned for more videos coming right at you.